Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》这本书。好，我们现在开始。I awoke the next morning with Cynthia's story. Gnawing, persistently worrying or distressing. Gnawing me. Story gnawing at me. I didn't want to wait for Daryl to locate him, so I would try to find him myself. Googling, I found no English professor in America with his name and age. I called Cynthia and pressed for more details. She remembered one thing. His grandfather owned a travel agency in Raleigh. Not sure if it's still in business. Were any at all? Turns out a few still were. With one of them bearing as the name of Smith Travel, I put on a long polyester shirt. Polyester. It's a polymer. Polyester shirt and a white long polyester shirt. Polyester skirt and a white blouse with lots of ruffles. A woman's upper garment resembling a shirt, typically with colored buttons and sleeves. Ruffles. Disorder or disarranged. Someone's typically running one's hands through it. A strip of lace or other material gathered along one edge to make an ornamental frill on a garment or other piece of fabric. A vibrating drum beat. Overdid the makeup and planted my reading glasses on my nose. My diabolical characteristic of the devil, or so evil as to be suggestive of the devil. Diabolical, disgracefully bad or unpleasant. Diabolical mirror was delighted to portray me at least 15 years older. A viable contemporary of Dennis Smith. Viable, capable of working. Contemporary Dennis Smith. Smith's Travel was empty of customers. I took a seat in front of a desk commanded by a plain-looking female not long out of college. I'm so glad you all are still operating, I said. You don't hear about travel agencies much anymore. Yep, she said. dismissively. How can I help you today? She spoke super loudly as if I were hard to hearing. Did I look that old? I told her I was hoping to take a trip to Italy while she gathered the relevant brochures from a file cabinet. I casually asked, "How's Dennis these days?" It's been ages since I knew him in school. Did he ever move back to Raleigh? Uncle Dennis? Asked the woman. Yeah, he moved back. He moved back a little while ago. Judging by her tone, she wasn't delighted about it. I'd love to see him, I said breezily. Breezily. He was such a character, that Dennis. What's him up to? He bartends, the niece said. Just a sec. I'll find out where. She went to the back, presumably to confer with someone. While she was gone, I let my eyes graze over her desk. Eat grass in a field. Scrape and break the surface of the skin. Slight injury where the skin is scraped. Out of the boredom more than anything else. Out of boredom. I let my eyes graze over her desk out of boredom more than anything else. On her notepad, one handwritten note stood out. Reserve Thompson trip cancelled. WH ticket and a tour. The Thompson seemed like just the type of old timer who would still reach out to a travel agency for a trip to DC, which was just a 5-hour drive from Raleigh. I wondered why they would skip the White House tour, but even I had to admit that I had lately gotten pretty sick of politics, especially the complaining and rabble-rousing. A disorderly crowd, mob, large group of butterflies, exciting, stirring, rousing, eating strongly, cause to stop sleeping, make angry or excited, stir, haul vigorously in the specified direction. Cup. And rabble-rousing that mostly men did over the radio. So-called pundits. An expert in a particular subject or field who is frequently called upon to give their opinions to the public. Variant form of pundit, expert, or mercilessly ripping perfect strangers. Mercilessly ripping perfect strangers in complaining and rebel rousing that mostly men did over the radio. So-called pundits mercilessly ripping perfect strangers in a new one without a second thought. I wonder if a DC trip would feel like a nostalgic escape from all that wretchedness. Wretched, very unhappy, unfortunate state, wretched. In all that wretchedness, or if it might land one in the center of that crucible, a ceramic or metal container in which metals or other substances may be melted or subjected to very high temperatures. From all that wretchedness, or if it might land one in the center of that crucible. The girl returned from the back. I couldn't remember the name of the place. It's a pelican, a large gregarious water bird with a long bill, extensible throat punch for scooping up fish, and mainly white or gray plunge. Near the courthouse, the coolness in her voice was unmistakable. Do you think he's working tonight? If it's not, he will probably be there as a customer. I thanked her for the brochures and told her I'd think about booking. Back at my car, I paused to phone Cynthia and let her know I found the man who had assaulted her so many years ago. He's bartender now, she said. Yes, I'm surprised though. I always figured he had taken his research to another college and reconstructed his dissertation. That's what I would have done. There was a silence as each of us fruitlessly contemplated what it would be like to be a man who raped a woman. Since each of us really contemplate. Finally, she asked, "Are you going to tell the police you found him?" "I believe I have to." She became quiet again. Was she reliving that whole terrible experience right now in her mind? I live through can relive once imaginary or memory. I want to be there when he is confronted, she said. I want to look him in the eyes. Do you expect him to confess to raping you? I'm sure he will never do that. No, I want to make sure he didn't kill Wanda. I think if I can see his action when she is mentioned, then I will know. I'll see what I can do, I said. I called Daryl and told him I will track down Dennis Smith. He was suitably impressed, but he wasn't crazy about the idea of including Cynthia in the interrogation. I should question him alone if he was violent once. He can be violent again. 好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。